Hello everyone, myself Dr. Soumya Ghosh, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering at Mollabhum Institute of Technology, Bishnupur, Bankura. Today I will discuss the topic is energy crisis. The energy crisis stems from the foreseeable end of the cycle of oil, gas and coal, which in addition have been producing a considerable increase in greenhouse gases. In recent years, many scientists have raised their voice to warn about climate change caused by the burning of oil and coal in order to produce energy. What is energy crisis? The steady increase in energy consumption coupled with environmental pollution has promoted research activities in alternative and renewable energy fuels. Many countries in the world are continuously developing materials and methods and effectively utilizing the alternative fuel resources available in their region. Alternative fuels, also known as non-conventional and advanced fuel, are any other materials and substances that can be used as fuels other than conventional fuels. Conventional fuels like fossil fuels as well as petroleum oil, coal, propane, natural gas, and nuclear materials such as uranium. Some well-known alternative fuels include biodiesel, bioalcohol, ethanol, methanol, chemically stored electricity like batteries and fuel cells, hydrogen, non-fossils, methane, non-fossil natural gas, vegetable oil and other biomass sources. The world is gradually marching towards a severe energy crisis, but with an even increasing demand of energy overstepping its supply. We have always known that the energy we use every day is not unlimited, yet we have not taken enough precaution to deal with a possible energy crisis. When I say we, I am not referring to the governments but to all of us, the common people. Oil and gas have already become too expensive, and each passing day they are moving towards being extinct. Some ignorant people think that energy crisis is a myth. There have been three major energy crises so far. In 1973, like oil crisis, 1979 energy crisis, and 1990 oil price high, apart from several regional crises. Prices have been rapidly increased for the last 5 years thanks to the increasing demand and the increasing shortage of energy resources. Causes of energy crisis. First point is overconsumption. The energy crisis is a result of many different strains on our natural resources, not just one. There is a strain on fossil fuels such as oil, gas, and coal due to overconsumption, which then in turn can put a strain on our water and oxygen resources by causing pollution. Next point is overpopulation. Another cause of the crisis have been steady increase in the world population and its demand of fuel and products. No matter what type of food or products you choose to use, from fair trade and organic to those made from petroleum products in a sweet shops, not one of them is made of transported without a significant drain on our energy resources. Next is poor infrastructure. The infrastructure of power generating equipment is yet another reason for energy shortage. Most of the energy producing farms keep on using outdated equipment that restricts the production of energy. It is the responsibility of utilities to keep on upgrading the infrastructure and set a high standard of performance. Next is unexplored renewable energy option. Renewable energy still remain unused in most of the country. Most of the energy comes from non-renewable sources like coal. It therefore remains the top choice of produce energy. Unless we give a renewable energy is a serious thought, the problem of energy crisis cannot be solved. Renewable energy sources can reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and also helps to reduce greenhouse gas emission. Next is delay in commissioning of power plant. In few countries, there is a significant delay in the commissioning of new power plants that can fill the gap between demand and supply of energy. The result is that old plants come under huge stress to meet the daily demand for power. When supply does not match demand, it results load shedding and breakdown. Next is wastage of energy. The most part of the world, people do not realize the importance of conserving energy. It is only limited to books, the internet, newspaper, and ads and other seminars. Unless we give it a serious thought, things are not going to change anything. Simple thing like switching off fans and light when not in use, using maximum daylight working instead of driving a short distance, using CFL instead traditional bulbs. Energy can go long way in saving energy. Next is poor distribution system. Frequent tripping and breakdown are a result of a poor distribution system. Another point is major accidents and natural calamities. Major accidents like pipeline burst and natural calamities like eruption of volcanoes, floods, earthquake can also be cause of interruption of energy supply. And next another one is wars and attacks. Wars between the country can also hamper the supply of energy. Especially it happens the Middle East country like Arabian, Saudi Arabian, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE and Qatar. That's what happened during the 1990 Gulf War when the price of oil reached its peak, causing global shortage and created major problem of energy consumer. Next main point is various effect of the global energy crisis. The growth of human civilization has led to an increase in the consumption of traditional source of energy. The very basic source of energy, precious fossil fuel. That usage all these source is bound to produce certain effects. First point is environmental effect. Energy is produced by the burning non-renewable fossil fuel. This does not only affect the global resources of fossil fuel, but it also affects the environment. Burning of fossil fuel release greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and others. Next is increasing price of the fuel resource. As the use of the fossil fuels increases, the cost of the resource increases. We must remember that the quantity in which these fossil fuels are available is limited. As we keep on using this resource, the amount of this fossil fuel further decrease. Next is political disturbance. That fact that energy crisis creates some socio-economic disturbance also tells us that global energy crisis also create a lot of political disturbance across the globe. Besides the failure of the energy market, we see a crash in not only the global economy but also crash of the energy available. All these are enough to give rise to the various socio-political disturbance. Next is the effect on the tourism industry. The tourism industry is largely depends on the rise and fall of fuel price. The tremendous rise of the fuel price that comes as a result, the energy crisis affects of the tourism industry pretty adversely. With the increase of increase of the fuel price, there is the increase of the cost of tourism as well. Next part is how to possible solution to the problem. Many of the possible solutions are already placed today, but they have not been widely adopted. First point is move towards renewable energy resources. The best possible solution is reduce the world's dependence on non-renewable sources. And to improve overall conservation effort. Much of the industrial age was created using fossil fuel, but there is also known as technology that use other type of renewable energy such as steam, solar, wind, water-based energy, biomass, etc. Next is buy energy efficient product. Replace traditional bulb like CFL and LED. Their use fewer watt of electricity has last longer. If millions of people across the globe use LED and CFL is residential and commercial purposes, the demand for energy can go down and energy crisis can be averted. Next is lighting control. There are number of few technologies, but that make lighting control that much more interesting, and they help to save a lot of energy and gas in the long run. Next is easier grid access. People who use different options of generate power must be given permission to plug into the grid and getting credit for the power you feed into it. Apart from that, subsidy on solar panel should be given to encourage more people to explore renewable options. Next is energy simulation. Energy simulation software can be used by big corporates and corporations to design the building unit and reduce running business energy cost. Engineers, architects and designers could use the design come with most of energy efficient building and reduce carbon footprint. And last point is common stand on climate change. Both developed and developing countries should adopt a common stand on climate change. They should focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions through the effective cross-border mechanism. With current population growth and overconsumption of resources and consequence of global warming and climate change cannot be ruled out. Both developed and developing countries must focus on the emission cuts to their emission from current level by 2050. The conclusion part is it can be bit overwhelming knowing that we are the ones who are destroying the world we are living in, and that situation is quite alarming. But on the other hand, it is also empowering knowing that our actions matter, that we live our lives, that decision we make every day can greatly affect the global energy, economic and social situation. So it is finally time to take your own stand decide today to make some changes your kids can be grateful for, and you will be proud of for sure. Thank you.